Three of spades, raise the dice.
So you think that's my trick?
Indeed. Yes. Snap.
Oh, come on, Eugene, snap what?
Snap.
Squire is not informed today.
Snap, clap. Will that do?
Certainly not. Eddie, will you tell him, please?
Sure. But with snap. Scram, Sam, we're on the land.
Oh, splendid. Excuse me asking, what does it mean? Who's on that?
That's what they say, that's all.
Eugene, Eddie knows what he is doing.
Scram, Sam, we're on the lap.
See, you can do it, Eddie, right?
He's a bit shy.
Thank you, Eddie's here. I don't know what we would do without you.
Anytime. Hello.
What?
I'd better be leaving.
Why, what got into you right at the middle of the game?
What's going on?
What do you mean, we're playing cards?
I can see that, but with who?
Don't you remember Uncle Eugene?
I'm not talking about Uncle Eugene. I'll deal with him later. Who is this individual? Time for me to go. Goodbye, madam.
It would stay.
Out! Out! See, madam, didn't I tell you we shouldn't have played today?
It's all her fault. I didn't want to play.
I said, get out! Right, I'm going. How many times have I asked you not to?
No.
Yes! No! Yes! And right away! Yeah, never.
What do you want of me?
You know exactly what I want.
Oh, look, Arthur, shouldn't you show more compassion to your own grandmother?
Uncle, you've got something to say.
I've got nothing to say. I was simply observing that even if Eugenia may have forgotten herself.
Well, I'm reminding, and you too, Uncle, compassion. Who are you to talk about compassion? And why aren't you working? You're supposed to be writing your memoirs.
I did do a little bit of writing this morning, and then they came barging into my room.
Eugene, traitor!
Will you all leave me alone?
Oh, we will. But first, you've got to take your punishment. Now sit there until I let you go.
Says it right.
Don't think you're getting away with it. Up! Up you go! Terrific.
Again. I don't want to.
Not another word. Up you go.
Thank you, Jeeves.
You can't, you know, but anyway.
Loud.
It must teach you not to be so shamefully reckless. Matches? Who's got some matches?
At least where the candles are found.
Yep. Quiet, or it will be the worse for you. Now, check this out.
What's he got there?
Down!
The Handbook of Detailed Anatomy, University Edition.
Just what he needs.
Master Arthur studying medicine.
Oh, he's studying for 3 different degrees, one in philosophy.
Do you get this sort of stuff in philosophy?
Don't be ridiculous. They don't illustrate philosophy.
Biddy. I wouldn't mind to have a look at that too.
Let me see.
Down!
What are you people doing?
Good morning, Mother.
Mama on the catafalque again?
Now you can see what he gets up to.
I had to discipline Grandmother.
Oh, he's trying to educate me.
She really goes too far.
But why the catafalque?
To remind her of eternity. She can just lie there and contemplate.
Oh, Eddie.
Alright. You mean you know each other? Here we go.
Everybody knows Eddie. Any objections?
I think I'm going mad. I come home and find the place all cluttered up. Dubious relations, shady characters, and it looks as though my own mother.
Perhaps I'll make you something to eat.
Eat? No, I just want to get the situation under control.
Oh, Lord. I sleep with Eddie from time to time. Don't I, Eddie?
What? Oh, yes, of course. Look at that. An all-in colour. What's that? What did you say, Mother?
I will make you something to eat. One below.
She put that a tad bluntly, I must say. I say, may I take this thing off now? Arthur? Arthur? I say, may I take this thing off now?
Yes, take it off. What does it matter now?
Oh, thank you. Arthur, don't be depressed.
Right, this thing is hard.
I can understand why you're worried about this business with your mother. I can understand that. I'm an old timer. Eddie's got his good points. And he's got a decent heart, even if he doesn't look very bright. Between you and me, he's an idiot. Anyway, we must take life as we find it, don't you think? Or don't you? Now, Arthur, chin up. After all, Eddie's got his good points. And after all, your mother isn't quite what she used to be. You should have seen her when she was young, before you were born, of course, before she met Stommel. What are you planning to do about Eddie? Frankly, he's disgusting. His fingernails are always so dirty. Sleazy type, what would you say? I'm convinced he cheats at cards, he slurps his food, and he goes around here as if he owns the place. If it wasn't for Eugenia, I wouldn't even shake hands with him. You know what he did yesterday? I said to Eugenia, listen, I said, it's fine with me if Eddie doesn't clean his teeth, but if he has to use my toothbrush, I'd much rather he brushed his teeth with it instead of his shoes. And Eddie said his teeth were white and sharp. It was his shoes that were dirty, and then he threw me out the door. Listen, far be it from me to put ideas into your head, but if I were you, I'd fix him. How about tossing him down the stairs, Good punch in the face, small punch wouldn't do any harm, would it? If you like, I'll tell him to get ready. Eddie is simple, yes, simple and very decent. In all my life, I've never met a simpler man.
Breakfast ready.
Thank you, Mother.
Can I borrow this till Tuesday?
No, I've got an exam on Monday.
Pity. There's some great pictures in there.
Mama, get down off that thing, will you? It's so terribly old-fashioned.
Arthur, may I get down now?
Do what you like.
Who's me?
Eddie.
There's something positively unnatural about Eddie's good luck.
Have you ever been cheating?
Me? No.
Not nice. You promised to lose today. I need the man of housekeeping.
Got luck? I smell coffee.
This was your day to sleep until noon. The bed will be occupied after lunch.
I can't sleep. A whole new idea suddenly came to me. Who's drinking coffee? Ah, it's you, Arthur.
I wish you'd do up your flies.
What for?
What do you mean, what for?
I mean, what for? Such a simple question, you can't find an answer.
Because you're supposed to.
You see, your answer is meaningless. It's pure convention. It won't stand up to the scrutiny of the intellect.
Isn't that enough?
Not at all. Too superficial.
For God's sake, Father. Couldn't you button your fly first and then discuss it?
That would be a reversal of the rational thought process. The effect would precede the cause.
That's precisely what I wanted to talk to you about, Father.
Later, boy, later. When is someone going to remove that thing?
Why?
Well, I have nothing against it in principle. Actually, it stimulates the imagination, but I must have room for my experiments.
You've got quite enough as it is.
I wish you'd take it away too, then Arthur couldn't torment me.
Exactly. What is going on in this house? Chaos? Anarchy? Entropy? How long is it since Grandfather died? 10 years. And nobody has ever thought about taking away the catafalque. Incredible. It's a wonder they took Grandfather away.
Grandfather became impossible to live with.
I'm not interested in the details. It's the principle of the thing. Grandfather, so what? My pram is still standing here and I was born 25 years ago. Why isn't it put away in an attic?
And what's this thing? Mother's wedding dress? What on earth is it doing here? Why isn't it put away in a closet? And Uncle Eugene's riding breeches. What on earth are they doing here when the last horse he rode died without issue 40 years ago?
No order, no sense of reality, no decency, no initiative. You can't move in this place. You can't breathe. You can't live.
How beautifully you dream, Ed.
My boy, tradition doesn't interest me in the slightest. Your indignation is absurd. Surely you know that we place no importance to these monuments of our past. We're just lying where they happened to fall, the relics of our cultural heritage. We live in freedom. Where's my boy?
No, Father, you just don't understand me. That's not my point at all. Listen, I've got nothing against tradition, but in this house there's no tradition and there's no order. There's nothing but bits and pieces, dust, dead objects. You've destroyed everything, and you go on destroying. You've gone on so long, you've finally forgotten where all this started.
He's right. Stunning. Do you remember? How we shattered tradition. You made love to me in front of my mother and father. In front of the stores at the opening night of Town House. A gesture of protest. What a gorgeous scandal that was. Ha! Those were the days. A thing like that made an impression. And then he proposed.
As I recall, it was at the National Museum's first avant-garde exhibition. The critics gave us rave reviews.
No, that was at the opera. At the exhibition, it wasn't you. Or maybe it wasn't me. Because everything needs stuff.
Possibly. The days of revolt. The time of the great leap forward. Ah, yes, the old days. Revolution. With one jump into the modern age, free at last of the old art and the old life. Man goes forward on his own 2 feet, topples the old gods and climbs up on the pedestal, the chains broken, the fetters smashed. Revolution and expansion, that was our slogan then. Down with the old forms, crack convention wide open. Yes, we were young once.
What do you mean? We haven't grown any older. We've never betrayed those ideals. It's just as it always was. Forward, ever forward.
Yes, I suppose so.
Do we have any prejudices? Do conventions mean anything to us? Are we still fighting against the old? Aren't we free? Don't you remember what we were just saying? All those rusty chains of religion, morality, society, art, especially art, stunning art.
Yes, of course. But when was all that actually?
It's all dead and gone now, all in the past.
What's gone?
All those fetters, chains and shackles, they're all gone now, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, you don't know what you're talking about. If you lived in those days, you'd know what they'd done for you. You've no idea what it was like. How much courage it took just to dance the tango. Do you believe there were hardly any fallen women? That everyone went gaga about naturalistic painting? There was only mainstream theatre, middle-class theatre, disgusting. You couldn't eat with the elbows on the table. I remember the student demonstrations way back in 1908, whenever it was. Yes, the really brave ones refused to give up their seats to the elderly passengers. We fought for these rights, and if you today can push your grandmother around, it's thanks to us. You've no idea what we've done for you. To think how we fought to create it. And now you sneer at this freedom.
But what did you create? A brothel, where nothing works because anything goes, where there are neither laws nor violations.
There's only one rule. Do as you please. We're all entitled to our own happiness.
Your freedom corrupted both generations that came before you and after you. Look at grandmother. She's completely off her head, or haven't you noticed?
I knew he'd drag me into it.
There's nothing wrong with grandma. What are you talking about?
Naturally, you're not shocked by her senile moralization. Once, she was a dignified, self-respecting grandmother. And now she plays poker with Eddie. It's a moral obligation to be immoral.
I beg your pardon. We also play bridge, you know.
I wasn't talking to you.
Honestly, you amaze me with these old-fashioned opinions. When we were your age, we'd rather die than conform. Mutiny, insurrection, rebellion was the only thing of any value to us.
What value?
Well, a dynamic and therefore purely positive value, even if used in a negative way. You were merely blind anarchists. We were also a march into the future, a movement, an historical process. History is indebted to us. By opposing everything, we paved the way for the future.
What future?
That's not my business. My job was to shatter existing forms.
I'm starting out in the world. But what a world! If I want a world, I've got to make one.
But you're young, Arthur. Don't you want to be modern at your age?
That's my point exactly. Grandmother has grown old in your brand new world. You're all getting old in modernity.
If I may interrupt for a moment, I should like to bring your attention to certain achievements. For instance, the right to wear shorts. Feel the breeze.
Oh, Uncle, you shouldn't have said that. Don't you realize that precisely because anything is possible, nothing is possible anymore? If you were at least bucking convention with your short pants, all conventions were broken long ago. By the time you came along, it was all taken care of. The whole thing's absurd.
What is it you want? Tradition.
An orderly world.
That's all?
And the right to rebel.
That you already got. I keep telling you all along, rebel.
You've destroyed any chance I ever had. You've been non-conformist so long, there are no conventions left to rebel against. You've left nothing for me. Nothing. Your only norm is a lack of all norms. The only thing left to rebel against is you and your opulence.
Go right ahead. Did I ever tell you not to?
Go on, Arthur, you'll show them.
Might you have calmed down? You've been so irritable lately.
Impossible.
Why?
We want you to.
Rebel against you? What are you anyway? A formless mass? An amorphous blob? An atomized world? A mob without shape or structure? Your world can't even be blown up. It's disintegrated all by itself.
Did you just try?
There's nothing to try. It's hopeless. You're also disgustingly tolerant.
Yes, I suppose that could be irritating. Still, I don't like to see you so left out.
I pass.
It's hopeless. This non-conformism you're always pushing me into is just another kind of conformism. I can't conform all my life. I'm grown up now. All my friends are laughing at me.
What about art, Arthur? What about art?
Exactly. You've taken the words out of my mouth.
What art?
Well, art in general. I've devoted my whole life to art. Art is rebellion itself. Why don't you really try?
Too many. I want to do better back.
Father, you bore me. I want to be a doctor.
A disgrace to the family. And how I dreamt of him becoming an artist. I used to run naked through the forest, singing my cantatas when he was in my home. Might as well have stayed at home.
Obviously, you were off key.
My advice is not to give up. You still can't appreciate art. For example,
You put it on right away, won't you, Slawomir?
I'm ready.
Oh, God.
Eugene, the table.
What's all the noise? What time is it?
Allah!
I forgot to tell you. Anna has been here since 6 o'clock this morning.
Great. Allah, you're invited to the show.
Why didn't you tell me? If I'd have known, I'd have kept them quiet. Put her down. Eddie, go and stand in the corner. Did you sleep well?
So.
How long are you staying?
I don't know. I told Mother I might never go back.
And what did she say?
Nothing. She wasn't there.
Then how did you tell her?
Or maybe I did. I don't remember.
You've forgotten.
It was so long ago.
How about some breakfast? Oh, we're out of coffee. Do you mind if I sit next to you?
You're welcome.
You're so lovely.
Take your seats, please. Take your seats, please.
Eddie, where are you going?
Definitely.
You stay right here.
Oh!
Arthur, Ala, what are you doing? Come and join us.
What's going on?
Theatrical experiment. My father's a maniac.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. The heroes of our play. Adam and Eve in Paradise.
We've already had that. When? At the beginning of the world.
That's the old version. I've done an adaptation.
What about the snake?
You'll have to imagine the serpent. Now then, pay attention. So this is paradise. I'm Adam, and before me lies a world of possibilities. But now it starts. From Adam's bone, Eve steps upon the earth. To what will she give birth? Oh, destiny, 'tis known to you alone.
Adam was first, but he did not exist until I also came to be. He walks so proud and still. Doesn't the poor man see that all his intellection there is no perfection except in what is not? Where does the darkness go when the sun comes out? Oh, destiny!
Slawomir, what's happened? Are you all right?
Oh, fire! Fire!
Bang, eh? Did you like it?
Slawomir, you scared the life out of us.
An experimental shock. That's my first instance.
If that was all you were after, you've succeeded indeed. It's given me palpitation.
Oh, how marvelous!
What's so marvellous about it?
Don't you understand?
No, I don't.
How my stubborn Eugene has always been slow.
How about you, Eugenia? Eugenia! Did you understand the experiment, Mum?
The experiment deafened her.
That doesn't surprise me.
Let me explain. By direct act, we have achieved a unity of action and perception. The dynamics of sense perception. Could it leave you unaffected?
Frankly, I think it does.
I give up.
Don't lose heart, Slawomir. If you will not experiment, who will?
What
flop, friends?
I prefer the movies.
What shall we do now?
Out! I want you all out of here now.
What's got into you?
Out! I don't want to see you here ever again.
That's a fine way to treat your father.
I don't have a father. Cease to exist. He's only being created. Now I'm going to create him.
You? You create me.
You and the whole lot of you. I'm going to make you all over. Now go on. Get out. Out! 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 Out!
We off then, mate.
Take the card.
Out!
Get out.
He's gone too far. The avant-garde, give me God and I'll create an experiment out of him.
Mr. Arthur, if you need anything, you just give me a call.
I said, get out.
Okay.
I agree with you, Arthur. Between you and me, there's scum.
You too, uncle, get out.
Certainly, my boy, I'm going. I just wanted to tell you that you can count on me.
What precisely did you have in mind?
In mind? Never mind. Just do what you think is right, but remember I can be useful to you. I haven't lost it all like the rest of them did. I'm an old timer. An old timer.
Password.
Need count us now?
Renaissance.
I'm worried. There's so demoralized. Think of it. A whole life is spent in this brothel. I beg your pardon. In this atmosphere of moral disintegration.
Forget it. What's my father doing?
He's in his room working on a new production. Don't you feel sorry for him? After all, he actually believes in that art of his.
Then why aren't you more sympathetic?
Your perversity. I'm like warning you. Besides, I'm an honest man, and these experiments are little mean a thing to me. What do you make of them?
I've got other problems. And mother?
Can't see a thing. She's either turned the light on or put something over the keyhole. Dark.
And grandmother?
Most likely the mirror putting on makeup.
Good. You can go now. I have a very important meeting.
Any further orders?
Be vigilant. Eyes open, mouth shut. And be ready for action.
Yes, sir. May God protect you, Arthur, my boy. Maybe the good old days will be back again.
I wanted to have a very private talk with you. What's happened to you?
Slawomir pinched me twice today.
The swine.
Arthur, he's your father.
I'm obliged to you for bringing this to my attention.
Because you called him that old-fashioned man. Nobody speaks like that about their father anymore.
How do they speak about them?
They don't. They don't even notice them.
Then I made a mistake.
Well, it's your business that you're related. Slawom's quite nice.
An artist.
And what's wrong with that?
Artists are a plague. They were the first to gnaw on the era.
Who cares? So, what did you want? I'm cold. I'm almost naked. Have you noticed?
Well, have you thought over what I talked to you about this morning? Are you agreeable?
Oh, well, I'm married. But I've already told you. I don't see the point.
Then the answer's no.
Honestly, why the fuss? If it means so much to you, we can get married tomorrow. We're already cousins anyway.
For God's sake, don't be so casual about whether you're going to marry me or not. I want you to realize it's very important.
What's so important about it? I can take it or leave it. If I'm going to have a baby, it'll be with you and not the priest.
All right, even if it's not important in itself, we can still make it important.
What for?
Nothing is important in itself. In themselves, all things are neutral. Unless we give them character, we drown in the sea of indifference. Since they don't exist in nature, we have to create meanings. It only follows that we have to create a system of values.
Philosophy bores me. I think I prefer Stommel.
You only think you do. Kindly put away that leg.
Don't you like it?
That has nothing whatsoever to do with the subject.
You really don't like it.
Oh, all right. Stick your leg out as far as you like. It just shows how right I am.
My leg shows it.
Yes. You don't understand why I'm not leaping all over you like my artist father or whoever else. So you stick out your leg. You thought you knew what I wanted from you.
That's not true.
Not true. Did you think I didn't notice how awkward you felt when I proposed marriage instead of dragging you straight to the nearest bed?
I had a headache.
A headache? Go on. You didn't know how to judge the situation. You thought you might be losing your charms. That's a worry. You'd love it if I behaved like my father, wouldn't you? That would reassure you at once. Except that you'd have to run away as a punishment for me.
I'm running away now.
Sit down, I haven't finished yet. All you care about is how attractive you are. You're such a primitive, unable to think of anything else while knowing absolutely nothing about anything.
Are you suggesting that I'm retarded? If you're so terribly clever, if you're so awfully superior, do it without me, on your own, or with Uncle Eugene.
Don't be so touchy.
Or else.
Aren't you too warm in that blanket?
No.
Uncle Eugene's hat doesn't look particularly good on you.
I don't care.
Suit yourself. Well, where were we? Ah, yes, a system of values. Now, generally speaking, a system of values is indispensable for the proper functioning both of the individual and of society. Without the right kind of values, we can never hope to create a harmonious world or to establish the necessary balance between those elements commonly termed good and evil, though of course I use these words in their larger rather than simply ethical sense. Now, its connection, our task is twofold. We must restore practical relevance to these concepts, and two, establish rules of conduct which... Oh, do excuse me. What are you doing here?
I was just going to the kitchen for a drink of water. I beg your pardon. I didn't know you were here conversing.
Water! Water? What for?
Because I'm thirsty. With your permission,
At this hour, in the middle of the night,
I'll do without if you like.
drink and get out!
As you wish.
Just a minute.
Yes, sir.
The kitchen is on the left.
There.
Impossible. I believe I know where the kitchen is in my own house.
You just can't be sure of anything.
That idiot. I'll have to straighten him out.
Have you finished straightening me out
It's
yet?
all his fault.
His fault? He nearly twisted my arm off.
Does it hurt?
Oh, what do you care?
Where does it hurt?
Here
I'm terribly sorry.
and here
Really, I didn't mean to.
and here
I don't know what to say.
and here too.
Forgive me, I'm terribly sorry.
Now show what you really are. Just a brute. First a whole lot of talk and then the usual. We poor women. Is it our fault that we have bodies? If only we could check them in somewhere like a hat or coat. Then maybe we'd be safe from our sweet talking cousins. Frankly, I'm surprised. I thought you were supposed to be an intellectual.
But really,
No excuses. You may not think so, but I too like having serious discussions about important matters. Oh, quiet though, without having to worry whether some philosopher's going to grab me by the leg. But never mind. What were we talking about? You were just getting to the interesting part.
far out. Did you really think I wanted to wreck?
Didn't you?
Certainly not. That was a demonstration.
Thanks, but I already know how.
You've got a one-track mind. Tell me, why did you resist?
You're disgusting.
Science knows no shame. Why?
Well, why did you attack me?
I sacrificed myself in an effort to make certain things clear to you. It was an exercise in sexual pragmatics.
Pig! Scientific pig! Pragmatics? What is it? Some kind of new perversion?
There's nothing new about it. Come on, we can be allies. Yes, women will follow me. The history of the world is the history of men's brutal suppression of women, children, and artists.
I thought you just liked artists.
That's beside the point. Men don't like artists because artists aren't men. That's what's always brought them closer to women, unfortunately. Artists don't understand ideas of honor, or logic, or progress, or anything invented by men. It's only very recently, and with great difficulty, that the man of our species has come to suspect the existence of such things as ambiguity, relativity, and transience. In short, the glamour and poetry of the world.
Aren't you male?
I transcend myself. I'm objective. I have to carry out my plan.
Can I trust you?
What's he doing in there that long?
Maybe he's washing.
Here, there. Let's get back to the subject.
I don't trust you. I know your game. You can't fool me.
All I want to do is make you see your position as a woman. I want you to open your eyes.
Meaning? To take my clothes off?
Don't be boring. When you see that our interests are the same in this, we'll be partners. Now, what is man's secret dream? To do away with the conventions involved in seduction, to get rid of all that irritating, tiresome business between desire and satisfaction. But I don't believe that women find this entirely to their liking, and that's the basis of my plan.
I like it.
That's a lie. You can't.
Yes, I like it fine. It means I'm free. I can do as I please. For instance, if I wish to take my clothes off, what are you going to do about it?
Stop it. This is a serious discussion.
Why, shut up. Who's going to stop me? You? My mother? God Almighty? Go on. Who?
Put it back on right now.
I will not. It's mine. Oh, hi, Eddie.
Get out, or I'll kill you. I'm dressing in front of that moron. Aren't you ashamed?
He may be uneducated, but he's got nice eyes.
Miserable little piggy eyes.
I like them.
I'll kill him.
You wouldn't be jealous by any chance, would you?
Certainly not.
First he's violent, then he's jealous. Aren't you cute?
Why did you stop? Go on, strip.
I don't feel like it.
Go ahead, don't be shy.
I've changed my mind.
What? You don't want to? Why not? Tell me, why not?
My God, he's a psychopath.
It's because you really don't like this sleaze, this lack of rules, this promiscuity. You're only pretending to like it.
Am I?
Of course, you don't like it because it's not to your advantage. It takes away your choice and limits your scope. All you've got left is getting in and out of your clothes.
That's not true.
You see, I don't believe you want to sleep with every single man in the world. All right. So you fancy the top 100, 200, 1,000, 10,000, 1,000,000, but not every single one should. You want to be able to choose for yourself. But how can a woman choose when there are no conventions?
I'm independent. I know what I want.
But you're weak by nature. What chance do you have if you find yourself alone with a strange man who's stronger than you and doesn't give a damn for etiquette? You could have been not wanting me with all your might a moment ago, and if Eddie hadn't come into the room, well, I'm the stronger.
I can take up judo.
I didn't mean it literally. Can't you women grasp a simple generalization?
Lots of women take up judo lessons. I'd love to have you begging me for mercy.
Excellent. Now you're getting it. But for that, you don't need judo. All you need is a well thought out and established code of behavior. With that, you'd have me kneeling at your feet with a bouquet in hand, begging you to take pity on me, to give me a ray of hope. And you, without lifting a finger or getting a hair out of place, much easier than wrestling, you could wallow in the power you have over me. Now, isn't that better than judo?
On your knees.
Impossible.
Why?
Because those codes I talked about no longer exist. Now do you see the picture?
Can't we do anything?
can establish new codes, or we can bring back the old ones. And I'll do it, if you'll help me. Everything's ready. All I need is your help.
Great. And you'll really get down on your knees.
Cross my heart.
What do I have to do?
Marry me! That's the first step. I don't want us just living together. I don't want dolce vita. I must have a marriage. And not just any marriage. Not just dropping into the registry office in a coffee break. I want a real marriage. The whole grand ceremony. Organ music. Bridesmaids walking down the aisle. All the trappings. The wedding procession's extra important. It should take them by surprise. That's the whole point. They won't have time to think, to organise resistance, to break up what I've started. I'll sort them into that wedding, and they'll have to play it my way. I'll organise them into a wedding procession, and at last, my father will have to button his flies. Now, what do you say to that?
Will I be in white?
White as snow, everything traditional. Do you realise you'll be doing a great service to all the women of the world? What happens today when a man meets a woman? His seductive patter consists of a few animal grunts on the way to the bedroom. But what used to happen? Conversation. Semi-articulate noises were heard. He had to say something. And the more he spoke, the more he revealed of himself. And you could listen calmly and design your action plan. You could reflect before committing yourself. You had time, all the time in the world. You didn't fear that he'd hit you, even if he was grinding his teeth and cursing you secretly. You could create an aura of mystery, diffidence, uncertainty, whatever suited your purpose. While behind this disguise, you could conclude the act of enslaving him by putting on the disguise he preferred to see on you. Or else, you could retreat as well, with no risk at all to you, leaving him insane and grieving. You remained victorious, safe and free until the very end. Even if you got engaged, it committed nothing and guaranteed everything. But today a man doesn't even feel he has to introduce himself. And surely it's better to know who a man is and what he does for a living.
Who's there?
No one.
I thought I saw someone.
Let's settle this matter. Will you marry me?
I don't know.
You don't know? You mean I haven't convinced you?
Yes.
Yes, then you accept.
No.
Yes or no? I have to create a world, and for that, I need a wedding. It couldn't be simpler.
Wait. Give me time.
What do you want?
I want to talk to you.
At this time of night, I'm busy.
It's urgent.
What's going on? Are you all right?
I
Aren't you
can't.
in bed?
I can't sleep. It's time for action.
In that case, good night.
Tell me, doesn't it bother you?
What?
This thing with Eddie?
Eddie? Oh, yes, I remember the name.
What do you think of him?
Oh, he's quite amusing.
Amusing. He's disgusting.
Well, I wouldn't say disgusting, yet he's a very interesting person. An extraordinarily modern, very authentic type.
Is that all?
You see, our problem is that we've been polluted by too much consciousness. The cursed inheritance of centuries of culture. Of course, we're doing our best to get rid of it, but we're still a long way off from nature. Now, Eddie's lucky. He was born the sort of person we should all like to become. What we attain through art and effort, he has received as a gift of nature. Therefore, he interests me as an artist. I admire him the way a painter admires a landscape. Morality and aesthetics have had their day. You keep making me repeat the obvious, Arthur. If Eddie annoys us now and again, it's because we've been affected by too much useless knowledge. Sometimes I can't help feeling guilty towards him, but I fight it down. We must get rid of these atavistic attitudes.
Why do you tolerate him in your house?
Why not? He provides a bit of local colour, enriches our household with a welcome breath of authenticity. He even helps me by arousing my imagination. We artists need a touch of the exotic.
Then you really don't know.
No, I don't know a thing.
You know perfectly well. You're lying.
I repeat, I don't know. I don't want to know.
He's sleeping with Mum. What do you say to that?
My dear boy, even assuming what you say is true, sexual freedom is the cornerstone of human freedom. So what do you say to that?
But it is true. They do sleep together.
I said we'll assume it's true, just for a second. Now then, let's examine what follows. The conclusion from an assumption like that can only be nothing.
How can you go on and sort of what all an abstract hypothesis, a play of words, a sort of intellectual concept?
Why not? I'm not one of your stupid anachronisms. I'm quite prepared to discuss any matter on the intellectual level, even the most delicate. Otherwise, human thought would never get anywhere. So speak freely. I trust we can discuss this business without proofreading. Now, what's your opinion?
My opinion? I don't have any opinion, and I certainly don't intend to discuss it. This isn't a game of philosophical ping-pong. This is life. Do you understand? You're a cuckold. Your horns stretch from here to the ceiling. You can't get away from that.
Horns. That's a primitive metaphor. It has no place in a rational analysis. We must not lower our standards.
Cuckold!
Shut up. How dare you talk to me like that?
You can't stop me. Cuckold!
Anyway, I don't believe you.
Ah, now I got you. Want me to prove it? Open that door.
No.
Are you afraid? Ah, well, it's not so poor an experiment. As far as experimentation is concerned, you're a giant, but in real life, a puny, pathetic papa. Me! A hero in pajamas! A pocket Agamemnon!
I'll show you. You say that in there?
Look for yourself!
I'll show you, I'll show them. Well, you know what I'll do? I'll show them all tomorrow.
You're going in there right now.
Tomorrow. Or better, I'll write a letter. What do you think?
Cardboard dummy! Nah!
How dare you? All right, here I go.
Oh, wait a minute! You'd better take this with you. You wouldn't want to go in there barehanded.
Now I see. Now I see.
Go on, there's no time to waste.
You're after a tragedy.
Tragedy, now look, Father.
Manipulate.
What, you?
Tim runs of a brainstorm. You want me to shoot him, do you? And then her? And then myself, I suppose.
Of course not. I was just joking. I just thought that maybe in case Eddie, he might do anything.
You'd love that, wouldn't you? The betrayed husband washes away his shame in blood. Where do you get ideas like that? Romantic novels? Television? Answer me!
That's not fair.
I knew young people valued ideas more than life. But I never expected my own son to sacrifice his own father to an idea. So, sit down. Now, you want to bring the world back to old norms. I don't ask why. That's your business. I've never interfered before, but this time you've gone too far. Now I've had enough. So, you needed a tragedy. Wasn't that clever of you? A tragedy. The most perfect expression of ideologically rigid societies for ages. That's what you needed. And you thought you'd push me into making one. Instead of spending some time and effort on reconstruction, you'd have got it made. Never mind if somebody's killed. Never mind if your father gets jailed. So, you'd like a tragedy. Do you know what I say to that? That you're just a dirty little forest. You don't give a damn about me or your mother. We can all drop dead as long as the form is preserved. Worst of all, you don't even give a damn about yourself. You're a fanatic.
How would you know? Maybe it's not only the form I'm after.
You don't like Eddie?
I hate him.
Why? Eddie is an imperative. He is the pure truth, which we've been searching for so long in all the wrong places because we imagined it differently. Eddie is a fact. You can't hate something which is essential. You should try to love it.
How? Should I kiss him or what? Imperatives are created by me.
Good Lord, you talk like a softly child that hated their dreams. There can only be one explanation, but of course, maybe you've got an evidence.
No, mother's all right, but that's not it.
I mean, that would be a theory. Anything's better than lunacy. In that case, you certainly are a formalist.
I'm not.
Oh, yes, you are. A pathetic and dangerous one at that.
Maybe that's the way it looks. But the truth is, I can't go on. I can't live the way you do.
I see. That's more like it. In other words, you're an egoist.
Call it what you like.
So, what would you get out of sacrificing me?
Something would be achieved. Tragically. You're right, Father, and I'm sorry. Tragedy is a form so great and so powerful. Reality would be trapped within it.
You poor thing. Do you really believe that? Don't you realize that tragedy isn't possible anymore? Reality is stronger than any form, including tragedy. Do you know what you've got? If I shot you? A farce. That's what. Today, farce is the only possible form. A corpse is no help at all. Why don't you face facts? Actually, a farce can be very nice too.
Couldn't we try it anyway?
Try what?
That.
You still have illusions.
You've explained it all so well. Analytically, logically, abstractly, and I don't know what else. You think that's the end of it? We can all go home. But nothing has changed. You've come a long way, Father. But how? By sitting around nattering. Action is what you need.
Come here, son. I've got something to tell you. So Eddie's sleeping with Helena. In fact, what is wrong with Eddie sleeping with Helena?
Father, you really don't know.
To tell you the truth, I don't like it any more than you do. In fact, I detest it. Only the more I think about it, the less I want.
So, if I could convince you...
I'd be very good.
And you'd...
Go in and make a scene and remember for the rest of their lives, if only they find a rational justification to do so.
Then you'd go in there without being pushed.
I'd love to. I had my eye on that bastard for a long time. Believe it or not, nothing would please me more than to finish him off. If only I could find a logical reason for it.
To hell with reason!
What can I do when reason won't let me act?
Let's go ahead anyway. There's no risk. The worst that can happen is you'll shoot him. You think so?
I have no faith.
Confidence comes later. The main thing now is to make up your mind.
Maybe you're right.
I know I'm right. You'll see. We'll have our tragedy.
You've given me back my strength. My enthusiasm of youth. How different from the skepticism that age brews. Ha ha! Youth! Youth!
Ready?
Yes! With you beside me, I feel better.
One more thing, Father. Can't you give up those experiments of yours? They only lead to decay.
What can I do? When tragedy is impossible and farce is the bore, the only thing left is experiment. Let's go.
I'll wait here. If you need anything, just call.
Farewell.
No! That's the kitchen.
I could use a drink.
Later.
Right. I'll shoot him dry so I not. The scoundrel. Now he's going to pay.
What's Eddie doing here? Why isn't Eddie?
Easy boy.
Arthur, why aren't you there?
I told you he'd find us. You can't hide anything.
Father, you promised! Stop it!
Well, we just started.
Mum's right, Starter.
Let's go. It's almost in.
Stop the game!
What's going on?
Not very nice. If I was your daddy, I still would give you a good hand.
What? You better shut up. Father, the gun.
I was only joking.
The gun! For God's sake, Stanley, don't you give him any guns. Turn him off, do something after all your
He's gone mad! Stop it. Why don't you deteriorate this child? Criminal negligence, that's what I call it.
Give it, Starter.
Silence! Into the living room. Everybody. I'll deal with you later. What's the matter? I did my best. Your best.
I was trying to calm him down. You heard me.
You spineless lump. And you call yourself a father. I wish I were a man.
It's easy said than done.
Has it started yet?
No, I'm still waiting for her answer. Uncle, I'm glad you come. Stay here and keep an eye on him.
Yes, sir.
Is that for real?
And make sure no one moves.
Yes, sir.
Have you both gone mad?
And if they try anything, shoot first and ask questions later.
Yes, sir.
It's a plot. Mama, your brother's a gangster.
Eugene, do put that thing down. People don't think couples at your age.
Stay where you are.
Eugene, it's me, your sister Eugenia.
When I'm on duty, I don't have a sister.
What duty?
Ideological.
Very good, Uncle. I see I can count on you. I'll be back in a moment.
Speak to me, Arthur. We're still friends, aren't we?
All in good time. Ah! Ah! Ah!
Sit.
I see. So, Eugene, you've betrayed us.
Silence! That's not true. I haven't betrayed anybody.
Ah! Ah! Ah!
You've betrayed your generation.
No. You're the traitors. You've all betrayed our good old days. I'm the only one who hasn't.
Ah! Ah! Ah!
So that zealous deranged youth will be used and then kicked out like a dog. Now at last you've shown your true colors, you hypocrite.
I suffered for years and years. I hated you for your decadence and degradation, but I kept quiet about it because I had to, because you were the stronger. Now at last I can tell you face to face, and you just don't know what a pleasure that is!
Ah! Ah!
What are you going to do with us?
We're going to bring back some dignity to a fallen society. We're going to turn you back into principled human beings.
By force?
If we have to, yes.
This is counter-reformation.
This is salvation.
Salvation from what?
From your damn freedom!
Ah! Ah!
Women have caused empires to fall, you know.
Gosh, I was still up. Uncle with a gun? Is it real? Is Uncle real?
That's none of your business. Where have you been?
Out for a walk? Is it forbidden?
Yes, this is a sacred trust.
Well,
Well, what? It's a lovely night.
I'm not talking about the weather. Do you accept?
I think I need a little more time, Arthur.
You've had all the time you can get. Yes or no?
Yes.
Hooray! Good. And now down to business. Grandmother, your blessing.
Oh, leave me alone. I haven't done anything to you.
But grandmother, everything's different. I'm going to marry Arwa. You should bless us and wish us a long and happy life.
Up on your feet, everyone. Can't you see this is a solemn occasion?
Oh my God, is Arthur going to be married?
So why the fuss?
Take him away. He's going to torment me again.
Grandmother, your blessing.
A tasteless joke. We've had enough of it now.
The jokes are over now. For 50 years you've been joking, Stommel. Now do your buttons up. This is just something gate which you can't have undone thrice. Eugenia, bless them.
Eleanor, what shall I do?
Bless them. That's what they want.
Can't they do without? It makes me feel so old.
This is a betrothal, just like the good old days. Get up and bless or I'll shoot. I'll count to 3. 1.
This is absurd. Can't a man be comfortable in his own house?
2.
My restless blessing. My blessing upon you, my dear children. Now go to hell.
Just the way it used to be.
We thank you, grandmother.
Stommel's buttoned his fly. A new era has begun.
Eleanor, you're crying.
I'm sorry, but Arthur is getting engaged. He is our son after all. I know I'm being old-fashioned, but it's so moving.
Do what you want.
When's the wedding?
Tomorrow.
Hooray, we've won!